TJ, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being kind enough to jump on this call with me. So we've been working together. Please correct me if I'm wrong at any point in time, but I want to say about 3 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. And talk to me about, so full disclosure, we haven't launched the first campaign yet, correct?
Correct.
So we're still very much in preparation, very much focused on structuring things around the business itself, its presentation. We've been having a lot of talks about the offer, making sure that that's situated, getting all of the platforms and the tech stack in order. So very much all the things that we need to prepare before we send our first cold email anyway. So I guess that's what we'll focus on, because I think it's for anybody who might be on the fence for this sort of thing, I think it's important for them to see what their experience will be like even before they send their first cold email campaign. Like what's the feeling you get right after you enroll? You know, like, do you feel supported? Do you feel, is it as advertised, so on and so forth? So I guess that's the angle we'll take. And then of course, my ideal situation is when the results come through, perhaps we can do a quick part 2. So I love to show the before and after. But with that being said, talk to me a little bit about your situation as it pertains to your business, meaning where were you before you engaged with myself? Did you already have a business? Were you thinking of starting one? I know the answer, but just for the record. And yeah, talk to me about your situation before. Like, did you have a business, or were you thinking of starting one from scratch?
Yeah, so I've always been a tech guy, tech nerd, data analyst, mechanical engineer, and so once like ChatGPT came out, like that was a playground for me.
Yeah.
So I've been on the ChatGPT wave for a little while, and in terms of trying to make money with it, there's so many ways that people talk about doing it, and so I did start an AI agency, and it was good but not great, very inconsistent. A lot of the quote unquote mentors that I had were very let's say promised a lot and under delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really just looking for something where I could put my determination in and get what I feel I could get, reach my potential in terms of output. And just discovering your YouTube, seeing you posting every single day, there was something very different about your approach. It just seemed very unfiltered, very genuine. And I think people in general can notice when somebody's being very genuine and transparent. And so with that, it just really made me want to become a follower. I didn't think that we'd ever have a real conversation, but just literally conversing with you through your videos, learning from you through your videos was something that motivated me to make that shift. I was creating AI agents, and you were talking about AI email, and there was something that you would constantly say that really hit me. You were like, yo, this is the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. And that really hit me because, when you think about Bitcoin and you think about Amazon, and people are always saying like, I wish I could go back and do things differently. And it just really made me feel like this is my Bitcoin, this is my Amazon. Like I gotta take action. And so from there, I was, just looking for an opportunity to actually become a partner and become a client of yours. And so when that opportunity arose, I jumped at it. And it really has just been an amazing experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm like trying to not answer future questions.
That's okay. Yeah. That's cool. I'll adapt it, but so far so good. Cool. And so you came into this with the AI agency concept already, meaning you had a website, which we've been touching up, but you had a website, point being some case study work, and all the things to get the business foundations pretty much set. And so what sort of assistance were you looking for at the time you enrolled? Because some people are looking to build an agency like mine from the ground up, and some folks have a business and then they just want to be able to get more clients. They want to know how to just bring the deals in, and so they use cold email to do that. Sometimes a mix of both. Some people want to include the offer that I did, as well as do cold email to push their original offer. So talk to me about what sort of assistance in particular were you looking for coming in?
So what I will say is, I am a big, I have a lot of experience in that shiny glitter syndrome, like you see something and it sounds great and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to that. Oh, I'm going to also go to that. And I'm also going to go to that. And I was really looking for something that would make me say, no, I'm going to focus on this.
Mm-hmm.
And because I already had clients with my agency, I wasn't just gonna, stop working with them. But I really just saw the transparency. I think a lot of the things that you see online are kind of missing that middle piece, and they're like, hey, work with me and I'll give you the middle piece and you'll know exactly what to do. I'll give you your result and I'll give you, where you can start, but that middle piece is missing. And you were literally willing to be like, I'll give you everything, whether you work with me or not, I'm here to help people and show people that it's possible. And so that really just made me trust you, even though I didn't know you, I'd never had a conversation with you. And so I was looking for something where I could continue with my agency, but I could also build something that was along the same path. Nice. And with that, be able to have something that I have a system. I'm not, entrepreneurship in general, it's a beyond a full-time job, right? But not having a system makes it double, triple the work. And you really promoted that system atmosphere where you have something that works and you're able to replicate it, scale it, and do all of that. So that's really what I was looking for, was something that was systematic and something that was transparent, something that I could view as a coach, a mentorship. And that's exactly what I found. So it's been awesome.
Beautiful. And so talk to me. Okay, cool. So we're about 3 weeks in, and talk to me about, as someone who is, you have your hands full, you are beyond busy, starting this business, and talk to me about what your experience has been in the last 3 weeks, just from what you've observed from the time you rolled in. Did you come in with any skepticism? And if so, someone, put yourself in your shoes if you're just joining it, you just enrolled. The kind of support, things that stood out, just talking about what your experience has been, however you want to approach that answer, for the past 3 weeks or so.
Well, one thing that I will say is that, I'm big on one-liners, I'll say, because I think they can really encompass much more than just that statement. And one thing that you said in our very first conversation is, I'm not going to let you fail. And it was something that was truly genuine. And I knew that because it was stacked onto everything else that you had said. And so with that, it just made me truly believe that this is going to be a process that if I do my part, you're going to do everything that you can to help me. And that's exactly how it's been. With my original agency, it took me so long to figure out what steps to take. How should I format my website? How should I reach out to people? What software should I get? Which one should I master? Should I hire people to do this? X, Y, Z. There's a billion questions. And even with your course outline, it was beyond what I could have imagined you would do. I mean, you could tell it's probably hundreds of hours that you put into that, because you're just proactively being like, hey, before we even talk, everything is out here. So if you do have questions, it'll be something that's very niche and small, because I've already pretty much answered everything you could ask. And then on top of that, I think that as a business owner, you're not going to be out here begging to help people, right? Just naturally, you want people to, hey, you're good, I'm good, we don't have to talk. But with you, it was almost the opposite. Even when I hadn't reached out because of how busy I was, after I'd already paid, it's not like you were reaching out because I hadn't paid. You're reaching out to say, hey, I'm here. What do you need? anything, I got you. And that just built the trust so much. So I will say that I didn't come in with any skepticism because I saw your videos and, I saw your webinar and I saw the character and I
Mhm.
thought that spoke volumes. But I think, if there was any skepticism, that would have definitely been erased after those first conversations, just because of the approach. You just feel secure. And I think that's what anybody's looking for, is to remove doubt and know that if I take these steps, I'll have
Mhm.
this.
Awesome. Talk to me about, so in your specific stage of where you are at in your business. Um, and I'm sure you've probably invested in other things before, whether it's some sort of education or whatever it might be. Um, those versus what you're experiencing now. Talk to me about anything in particular about this experience that has stood out to you.
Man, I'll say that it's been a number of things that have stood out. I'll say number one has been the community aspect.
Mhm.
You really preach community. You want us all to succeed, while
Mhm.
also understand that we all have, it's all situational, right?
Mhm.
Some people have tech experience, some people have website experience, some people have entrepreneurship experience, some people have none of that.
Mhm.
And being able to have a feeling, it's almost like a family,
Yeah.
have a feeling where if I can post something, there's going to be a lot of support. When people have their wins, everybody's, just cheering them on as if it's themselves.
Mhm.
And I think part of that is because we envision ourselves having that same success, because we know we have the same mentor, we
Mhm.
have the same coach.
Mhm.
I think that that's really awesome. That's something that's really stood out, is that community aspect and how you promote that.
Yeah.
Um, on top of that, another thing that stood out is we've all had the experiences of purchasing programs and trying to use it to get to the next level.
Mhm.
And it gets to a point where it seems like the money that they're getting from you is a priority.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all in it to make money. So if you're paying somebody, they're a business owner, just like you're trying to be a business owner. So it's understandable.
Mhm.
But the energy has never been, what can I get from you? It's
Mhm.
always, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And that is something that's not in just one aspect of, the business or one aspect of the program, but throughout. It's a, how can I help you? And that just makes everything feel so smooth, so comfortable.
Mhm.
You're a very personable person. Um, when you and I have conversed, I've told you, personal things, private
Mhm.
things, my specific situation. And I'm sure
Mhm.
I'm not the only one, because you're
Yeah.
someone that's very easy to talk to.
Mhm.
And on top of that, someone who is managing a business, you've shown us your receipts, you've shown us, the clients, XYZ.
Mhm.
Someone like that is usually pushing other people off. You're not having a lot of direct contact with them.
Yeah.
And the amount of direct contact that we're able to have, the way that we're able to schedule with you, the way that we have Q&As, scheduled meetings, I think that that's really wonderful, because it lets you know, like, that success that I'm looking for is in the person that I'm talking to. Like, it's not
Right.
like I'm, it's
Yeah.
like we're having a real conversation, just like right now. And so that's something that really jumps off the page as well.
Cool. Awesome. One thing I try to like I don't know if this is a selling point for anyone, but one thing I try to protect is the tight knitness and the exclusivity of the group. Like I think that's one thing. And I try, like, I've purposely not run this in mass and just open the floodgates because number one, I want to be the person on ground level with everyone, and I'm invested in in seeing everybody do well and get results. But number two, I think like the quality of the group and the folks in it, and just how kind everybody is, how on their purpose everybody is, really speaks volumes versus other things that I've witnessed or explored. But yeah, that's something if there's anything I'm proud of besides seeing people do well, get on their feet, get results, or go get on their way to it, is um, the proximity that we all have to each other. Talk to me about would you recommend this experience to someone else slash a friend, and if so, what kind of person?
Man, it's like it's like asking, would you recommend Bitcoin to somebody back in 2013? You know, like
Yeah.
maybe when you're in 2013 and you're recommended to somebody, they might not be able to see it because I haven't launched my first campaign, right?
Mhm.
But knowing, you know, we've already had people who have made thousands of dollars within
Yeah.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But it's not like they just popped out and made it. I saw them asking questions along the way, just like I was. I saw them sharing their website. I saw them sharing their outreach.
Mhm.
And so when you see the plan and you see the execution,
Mhm.
why wouldn't you recommend it to somebody who you want to see succeed as well? So, you know, I have 500% faith that, you know, I'm going to have great success with this.
Yeah.
And, you know, anybody that I would want to have success, you know, my friends, my
Mhm.
family, um, I would definitely recommend, you know, I've already recommended my cousin who joined as well. So,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
I think I just feel great. You know, I almost feel like I'm already in the future, but I just know I just got to do my part. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Awesome. And talk to me. So this was obviously this is a significant investment for anyone, because it also forces you to take it seriously. But that being said, um, with where you are at right now, 3 weeks in, consideration of the fact that most of our time has been focused just on business prep, we haven't even gotten to the email campaigns yet, um, versus doing it on your own with the trials and tribulations that come with that route. Has this been worth your investment so far?
Man, it's been far worth the investment, man. It's been beyond worth the investment. You know, like I said, I've been in ChatGPT for
Yeah.
years, you know,
Mhm.
trying to make money off this. And in just 3 weeks, I know that this is the most solid investment that I've made related to AI.
Mhm.
So it's something that you could have priced a lot higher for the
Mhm.
value that you're getting.
Mhm.
Um, I can't even put words on it. Like, I know that I'll be looking back in a couple weeks, in a couple months, and saying, like, look at it. Look at what I put in versus what I got
Right.
out, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah. And like I said, for anyone who might be watching this, one thing I try to stress, like I show my screen when people are on calls with me considering enrolling. I just share my screen and show people exactly what's happening. Like, here's the community, here's all the interaction, here's the module. Like, to know exactly what you're getting into. But one thing that's hard to even communicate through that route, like showing my screen, is just that um, how much support you will have. But like, if there's any question whatsoever, that question gets answered very quickly, by myself, or someone who has actually gotten or experimented with what you are trying to seek answers for.
Right.
Um, and like the whole thing of like, I'm not going to let you fail. Like, it's like you feel that. Um, and it's not just myself, it's everybody in the group, you know. So yeah, you can't convince anybody for something they're not ready for. Um, but this is exactly what I wish I would have had. I've modeled it in that way, and like, I will go out of my way. This doesn't make me special, but this is just, I'm just describing the experience of what someone can expect. Is I will go out of my way to go into my own agency inbox, for example, or like email campaigns, and pull out actual copy for you, or actual email responses I've sent to clients, and just say, hey, use this.
Right.
Just, you know, so no, like, I take everybody I work with under the hood. If it comes down to it, we will jump on a call so I can make sure that you are supported. Like, there's no person that gets left behind. And that's really, really important to me. And we can only do that because of how tight knit the group is, and because of the quality of the group as well. So you are definitely a contributing factor to the quality of the group, my friend. So um, we can we can pause it here, but thank you, TJ. I genuinely appreciate it, and of course I look forward to a part two of this conversation.
For sure.